Why was it so important to risk that reputation, all of that trust, all of that capital for this moment?
Because I really care about this country. And there couldn't have been a life like mine, a career like mine, a success like mine without a country like America. Only in America could there be.
Wrangler, yeah. Well, this is we're revealing it to Jenny right now.
I'm counting the points every day, and slowly it's happening. I love it.
Hollywood, a place where dreams take flight and secrets lie buried. But what happens when those secrets begin to surface? When the glitz and glamour fade and the truth starts to unravel?
End of the day today, I'm gonna be broke as shit.
Fans are expressing concerns for Colleen Hoover after the It Ends With Us author posted a distressed video on Instagram. Sipping on a Diet Pepsi, Colleen reveals her merchandise is being marked down.
My boss, Stephanie, put all of my merch on sale for $10 an item. That's like 5 times cheaper than what I paid for each item.
Today, we're delving into a shocking revelation that has the entire entertainment industry in an uproar. Media powerhouse Oprah Winfrey has made bold claims about none other than Blake Lively.
Slate has not officially confirmed that she is one of the co-stars that Blake Lively is alleging also felt uncomfortable by Justin. A Hollywood Reporter alleges that one of those women is Jenny Slate. The internet assumes the other is young Lily Isabel Freire. There's also Blake Lively's sister, who she may try to pull in if she needs someone to have her back, which would be very embarrassing.
Yes, you heard that right. The same Blake Lively, adored for her iconic role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, is now at the center of a controversy far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Every morning, I prepare myself for the day, and God only knows what you could sell that for. But according to Oprah, Blake isn't just another Hollywood A-lister. She's allegedly been pulling strings behind the scenes, manipulating the industry, influencing careers, and making decisions that could be shaping or even damaging the future of Hollywood. But why now? Oprah has largely remained neutral when it comes to Hollywood politics, so what made her speak out? And how are other celebrities reacting to these shocking claims?
Morning, I prepare myself for the day. God only knows what you could sell that for.
Brace yourself. This is one Hollywood scandal you won't want to miss.
You need to surround yourself with people who are going to stimulate, inspire, and lift you up, who are going to give you energy and not take energy away from you. And if you're around people who are taking energy away from you, that's an energy drain. And that is the sign from your instinct, your inner voice, your intuition to say, let them go.
You've been hitting Fashion Week. I know you were at Ralph Lauren's on Friday night. It was so gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, it was so surreal. I mean, Oprah was there next to Robert De Niro. And
Isn't it crazy?
Spielberg, and it was so surreal. I just was like pinching myself the whole time.
Me too. I kept pinching myself because I walk home from work. That whole runway is my walking home from work route.
Weird when they translate.
I was like, it's amazing what they've done to the place. It's like couches in the middle of
it was
Central Park.
Gorgeous.
I mean, it was so magical. And I introduced myself to Oprah. I was so nervous.
Wait, you've never met Oprah?
Well, I sort of met her once, but she would never remember. And so I went up to her and I introduced myself and I was just so terrified. But it was the best. She looks at you in your eyes. She says your name about 3 times. So you feel like you're the only person in her world.
She shines Oprah. I said that it's like staring into the sun. She radiates you from her Oprah-ness from within.
Her openness. It's
if you could stare into the sun.
Yes.
Because apparently
you're not supposed to.
Buckle up, because this is one Hollywood scandal you don't want to miss.
Said, I promise this is not some sort of Blake Lively update, what she's up to this week, what Justin's up to. This goes actually beyond.
Let's take a step back for a moment. Blake Lively, a name synonymous with elegance, charm, and effortless style, rose to fame as the star of Gossip Girl, a show that defined a generation and cemented her status as a household name. But she wasn't just another teen drama star. She successfully transitioned to the big screen, starring in films like The Age of Adeline, A Simple Favor, and The Shallows, proving she had both the talent and versatility to thrive in Hollywood.
Hey, how can they be perfect on YouTube?
Wow, that is a little weird.
She was starting to freak me out.
Blake Lively first stole our hearts in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, a role that she truly fought to get.
They thought it was a joke when I came in because they looked over to see what my resume was. My resume was completely blank. But then I read and, hopefully I did something right because here I am today. We meshed really well together. The chemistry was so great and it just felt so real. I felt like they had been my friends my whole life.
And it wasn't long before Blake's career really took off when she took on the role of Serena in Gossip Girl.
Well, I wish I could have been there. You are now. It's been a whirlwind. I'm working every hour of the day. And on weekends, we're doing press. But it's opened up so many wonderful opportunities.
But Blake's allure went beyond just her acting talent. Her high-profile marriage to Ryan Reynolds, impeccable fashion sense, and seemingly flawless public persona made her one of Hollywood's most beloved figures.
Success is even sweeter when you have someone to share it with. Blake met her hubby Ryan Reynolds on the set of Green Lantern 14 years ago.
She bakes for everybody on the set. She's coming to set like Mrs. Fields every day with platter of everything. Sprinkles everywhere and sugar everywhere. And oh
Very
my
nice
God.
of me.
Leading to years of jokes and laughter.
I want to thank my wife, Blake, the best thing that has ever happened to me. Second only to this star on Hollywood.
So, how did Blake Lively go from America's sweetheart to being accused of dismantling Hollywood? Enter Oprah Winfrey.
That we don't have any control over that. So focusing on what you do have control over instead of what you don't have control over and releasing.
During a recent podcast appearance, Oprah Winfrey made a statement that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. She said there are forces in this industry that appear golden on the surface but are corroding it from within. When asked to elaborate, Oprah hesitated, but then she dropped a name. Blake Lively. Now let's be clear. Oprah is not someone who speaks lightly. She's been a trusted media figure for decades, and when she calls someone out, people listen.
People get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go.
Wow.
Most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of people are going and being driven by what they think they should do,
Right.
what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what do I really want?
Wow.
And the answer to that, once you can establish for yourself what the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is.
Right.
Yeah. And when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. The reason why most people have such chaotic lives is because they're living in chaos in their head.
According to Oprah, Blake Lively has been wielding her influence in ways that may be doing more harm than good, allegedly manipulating projects, controlling Hollywood's narrative, and even blacklisting certain actors and directors. While Oprah stopped short of presenting concrete evidence, that didn't stop the internet from erupting with speculation.
Focusing on what you can control and what you can't, because worry, as you know, doesn't change anything.
Is Blake Lively truly as powerful as Oprah claims? And if so, why is this all coming to light now?
I feel that a lot of things are on the line, a lot of things are at stake. And if ever you're going to stand up and fight for your country and fight for freedoms that, I don't need the right to abortion, but I believe that the right to control your body and be able to control what happens to you, particularly as a woman person in this country, is essential. It's fundamental. And all of the freedoms that I have enjoyed, the successes that I have enjoyed, I feel that they're on the line and at stake in this moment. And I think there's the bottom line for me is that decency and respect are on the ballot.
Since Oprah's comments went viral, anonymous industry insiders have started coming forward with their own shocking stories. One particularly startling claim involves a rising starlet who was allegedly cut from a major film after a disagreement with Blake Lively. According to sources, the young actress was on the brink of her big break when she clashed with Blake over creative differences. Within weeks, she was replaced by another actress, and her career seemingly came to a standstill. While she remains unnamed, fans quickly noticed that she liked, and later unliked, several tweets about Oprah's statement, sparking speculation that she may have been one of Blake's alleged victims.
So the reason why we kind of understood that things were not as they seemed, that there was trouble in paradise, is that Blake Lively and the cast of It Ends With Us all mass unfollowed Justin Baldoni as the film was about to premiere. And it was very suspect because Justin Baldoni was the one who first got the option for this book. He had been driving the production literally for years before they even started filming. He was very, very close to the project, and he was nowhere to be found on the press tour. He was the male lead, was the love interest of Blake Lively, and was in no interviews, was not walking the red carpet, and people got super confused. But they thought that maybe there was a reason for it because this film is about domestic violence. And so they thought, okay, well, maybe they're trying to separate these characters and they want us to already get into the mindset of this being an abusive relationship, of them being at odds. So people thought, okay, maybe that's the reason why. But then it just kept going and nobody acknowledged it. And it got weirder because they noticed that she had unfollowed him. And then we started to see a stark contrast with how Justin was promoting the film independently, because he wasn't included in anything else, with how Blake Lively and the rest of the cast was promoting the movie. And Blake Lively was doing all of these big, colorful, floral events. She was also simultaneously promoting her new hair care line. She was making this like a chick flick, rom-com, cutesy movie. She was telling everybody like, wear your florals to go see the movie because her character owns a flower shop. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni took every single interview to talk about domestic violence, to talk about protecting women and the importance of telling these types of stories with, very, sincere care.
Other reports suggest that Blake has been using her connections with powerful producers to secure roles for herself and her inner circle, often at the expense of rising talent. One filmmaker, speaking anonymously, claimed that Blake personally interfered in casting decisions for a project she wasn't even involved in. Allegedly, she persuaded producers to drop an up-and-coming actress in favor of someone from her inner circle, further fueling speculation about her behind-the-scenes influence in Hollywood.
A-list actors are stepping up and supporting their fellow actors. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, George and Amal Clooney, Matt and Luciana Damon, Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck, and many more have donated $1 million to the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists Foundation, as they are currently providing emergency assistance to actors on strike. Foundation President Courtney B. Vance announced on Wednesday that the program has raised $15 million so far.
Insiders claim that Blake Lively is just one of several actresses vying for control in Hollywood, and she may not be acting alone. Some speculate that she's part of a larger group of elite actors and producers who wield significant influence over the industry, carefully shaping Hollywood's future and deciding who gets a shot at fame.
Bossy Blake is not a fan of the piece. In fact, the expert in taking zero accountability is attacking the respected Hollywood trade publication. Somebody is not a fan of the truth getting out there. I'm a fan of the truth, or at least hearing all sides. And the more you know, the more perspective, context, and full understanding you can hopefully achieve. A rep for the aspiring lawyer who has taken authorship of her court case has said, quote, "The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself." Not only do they take issue with the article itself, but also with the image used to promote the latest issue. They've got it on the cover and it looks like this. Bum, bum, bum. Blake versus Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war. What is problematic about this? Well, let me tell you what the former Keeper of Dragons thinks. The framing in this picture is outrageously insulting, as it plays into every sexist trope about women who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way. Delulu Lively knows exactly what she's doing.
If true, this could explain why some actors struggle to break into the industry despite undeniable talent. In Hollywood, success isn't just about talent anymore. It's about who controls the game.
The story is extremely offensive, as it incredibly seems to explain away documented examples of harassment, and retaliation by calling them cultural misunderstandings. And I don't believe in retaliation, but I do believe that everything coming Blake Lively's way now with regards to the public, she deserved.
After Oprah's bombshell revelation, other celebrities began weighing in, some subtly, others more directly. In a recent interview, Jennifer Lawrence was asked about Hollywood's gatekeeping and responded, "There are definitely people who decide who's in and who's out, and sometimes it has nothing to do with talent." Fans immediately linked her words to the Blake Lively allegations, speculating that she might be throwing subtle shade. Anne Hathaway took to Instagram to praise Oprah's fearless honesty, fueling rumors that she agrees with the claims. Meanwhile, Kerry Washington, known for her outspoken views on Hollywood politics, added to the conversation, stating, "The entertainment industry has always had its power players, but the difference now is people are speaking out." Was this a direct reference to Blake?
The number one principle that rules my life is intention. And I probably discovered that around 1989 after reading Gary Zukav's book and then bringing him on the show and talking about these multisensory ideas. Like we are human beings who have power beyond our five senses. So the principle of intention actually changed my life. It changed the way I operated my shows. I used to be a real big people pleaser and couldn't figure out what it was that caused people to always come back and always using me and why I always felt like a doormat.
At its core, this isn't just about Blake Lively. It's about Hollywood's deep-seated power struggles. With the rise of streaming services, social media, and shifting audience preferences, the traditional Hollywood power structure is undergoing a transformation. For years, a select group of actors and producers have quietly controlled who rises to fame and who fades into obscurity. And if Oprah is right, Blake Lively could be one of the key players in this high-stakes power game.
People started seeing Blake Lively's attitude in interviews. And not only was she being flippant about the story, talking about florals and silly things and promoting her hair care and being like, "Oh my God, look at my hair, it's so amazing, whatever, look what I'm wearing." But they started just to see that she was not kind to interviewers. Like she was very cold, she was very sarcastic. One of the interviewers asked her, if a audience member, if a viewer is very impacted by this story, has a personal experience, like should they come up to you and talk to you? Like how should they approach that? Because this is a very, personal story that's going to impact a lot of people. And Blake Lively took that question, and we can roll the clip, but she basically was like, don't talk to me. Like, what do you want me to do? Give you my number? Like, whatever.
Asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Oh, I could just location share you and then we could,
and just blew off this very serious and understandable question considering the subject matter of the film. And then it just kept going. People kept bringing up old interviews of her, like from Gossip Girl days when she would speak over Leighton Meester and make fun of her. They brought up another interview, which went mega viral, where a interviewer brought up that Blake Lively had recently announced that she was pregnant. She was like, "Oh my goodness, your cute little bump." And Blake Lively immediately snapped and went, "Oh, look at your little bump."
So, where do we go from here? Blake Lively has remained silent on Oprah's accusations, but Hollywood insiders say the pressure is mounting. Will she step forward to clear her name? Or will more voices come forward, escalating the controversy? Even further, one thing is certain, this story is far from over.
But let's just see how this starts out here. And this is the introduction to the argument. I think it's put together quite nicely. And it says the Wayfair Party's vengeful and rambling lawsuit against Blake Lively is a profound abuse of the legal process and has no place in federal court. So whenever you put in a first sentence together like this in a brief, it's an important place to put it. Here, they don't miss a beat and they just simply say, this is not a good lawsuit, shouldn't be here in federal court. And then they're going to tell you why. The law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits. And that's important. What law is she referring to there? We're going to get into that. Is there a law that prohibits the weaponizing of defamation lawsuits? And does it apply to this case? She says, like this one. So she thinks it does apply to this case. To retaliate against individuals who have filed legal claims or have publicly spoken out about sexual harassment and retaliation. The right to seek legal redress and the right of the press to report on it are sacred principles that are protected by multiple privileges. And so we're going to get into some privileges today, Keith, I know you're ready to break those down for us, but the three privileges we're talking about are the litigation privilege, the fair reporting privilege, and she's saying that those are absolute. There's also the sexual harassment privilege, which is an enhanced litigation privilege under California law, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes.
What do you think? Is Blake Lively really pulling the strings in Hollywood, or is she just the latest target of the rumor mill? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned.